DL5733, Module 5, Application Reflection, Michael R. Weyrauch, American College of Education. The following storyboard is intended to inform the viewer of an instructional course designed for a high school U.S. history course entitled 20th Century America. The course is being built using Blackboard course sites and is a continuing project throughout my tenure at ACE for Instructional Design and Technology. The module is entitled Civil Liberties and the World Wars, intended to focus on how warfare changed the American home front in regards to our constitutional rights and the interpretations of those rights. The overarching course goal is for students to analyze and evaluate social, cultural, economic, and political changes in America during the 20th century. The course would be an elective course in order for students to dive deeper into contemporary American history, as, from experience, this content gets rushed at the conclusion of the U.S. History Survey course. The goal of the module is for students to examine to what degree American civil liberties have been encroached upon or eroded by government action during various wars in the 20th century. Here we see some screenshots of the landing page for the 20th Century American History course that's being built using Blackboard Course Sites Ultra. You can see that the course navigation is pretty straightforward, and that the important tools for grading, collaboration, and assessment can be found easily to the left of the screen under Details and Actions. For this presentation, though, the focus is on the learning objectives of Module Number 2. The course is designed as an online high school U.S. history course. As previously mentioned, the course is entitled 20th Century America. It's intended for 11th and 12th grade students between the ages of 16 and 18 for a technical high school in Sussex County, Delaware. As the school is a choice school, it serves students from all over the county, bringing in very diverse socioeconomic factors, as Sussex County, to the west, is very agrarian, and to the east is more beach and tourism. This course is also intended to meet the needs of diverse learners, as it is designed for an inclusion setting to support IEP, IHP, and 504 students. So, what are the learning objectives? Learning objectives were designed using Bloom's taxonomy and the verbiage that corresponds to the varying levels of understanding. Learning objective number 1 states, using Google Docs, students will collaborate in groups of 3 to classify government wartime actions during World War I and World War II into at least 4 categories of violations of civil liberties, such as, but not limited to, free speech, freedom of religion, assembly, private property, due process, etc. Number 2. Using the discussion board feature, students will analyze 3 examples of justifications for and/or arguments against government encroachments of civil liberties during the World Wars and respond to 2 classmates facilitating discussion. Number 3. Using a graphic design tool of choice, students will create a presentation visual predicting 2 future encroachments of civil liberties supported by 3 pieces of historical evidence for each. In Blackboard course sites, if you click on Module Number 2, you find the learning materials for this portion of the course. The instructional strategies are designed to support 21st century learning skills that students need to transfer into their tangible experiences. This is such an important concept to incorporate into instructional design. So, to support learning objective number 1, the tool to be used is Google Docs, which will be used for collaboration and efficacy. To support learning objective number 2, Blackboard Course Sites Discussion Board will be used to practice asynchronous student communication and netiquette. To support number 3, peergrade.io will be used, and this is for students to submit their rough draft for anonymous peer review based on the assignment rubric. Also included are inclusive and assistive technologies, and these are things that are necessary and legal. The tools that could be used are text-to-speech, closed captioning, transcripts, graphic organizers, digital worksheets, the use of tools like Audacity and Grammarly. All of these support universal design for learning. In order to provide authentic learning experiences, assessment should be relevant to students' futures, reflect corroboration skills, be self-reflective, and use ambiguity to engage student creativity. Piggybacking off of the instructional strategies are the assessment strategies. The course is designed to give students more freedom when producing summative assessments, learning artifacts. It's important to allow students to create learning artifacts to prove their knowledge according to Bloom's revised taxonomy. The rubric for this module has a detailed rubric that focuses on content knowledge, supporting evidence, organization, mechanics, sourcing, and design. Formative assessments will also vary and can and will be in the form of discussion boards, check for understanding, standing quizzes, gamification, wikis and blogs posts, and also mind maps using tools like Google Draw, Bubble USA, or Lucidchart. Here's a screenshot of the summative assessment for the module supporting the third learning objective based on Bloom's taxonomy. Students have essential information found in the assignment settings navigation bar to the right of the screen. Here's where students will find important information about the assignment, including the due date, grading policies, and even the rubric. The assessment is based on UDL principles and is intended to give enough autonomy to engage all learning intelligences. Feel free to pause the video to examine the assignment yourself. Feedback is essential to learning. In an online environment, it's difficult to keep the same sage on the stage vibe as a traditional classroom. So in order to be the student's facilitator or guide on the side, responsive and effective feedback is paramount. Tools like Quizzes, which is a Web 2.0 tool for gamification, which research suggests and supports that gamification increases student engagement. Students can play review games and that are teacher generated or choose from a public library of searchable content for review and mastery, allowing students to reflect on their current level of knowledge. Unlike other gamification tools like Kahoot, Quizzes allows students to go at their own pace and still compete with other members of their class, earning points, power-ups, badges, etc. Rubrics are necessary for consistent, equitable feedback for students. In an online course, rubrics not only provide equitable grading practices, but also improve grading efficiency and can still provide student autonomy in producing their own learning artifacts. Thank you.